Hello, and welcome to another episode of Race Day Retrospectives, a series where we take a look at classic and lesser known racing games over the years. Today we'll be taking a look at Formula 1 2010 by the developer Codemasters for Xbox 360, PlayStation 3 and PC. Contrary to popular belief, F1 2010 is actually the second F1 title developed by Codemasters, with them releasing F1 2009 on the Wii, PSP and iOS devices the previous year. F1 2009 received reviews ranging from a positive 8 out of 10 on Eurogamer for the Wii version, to a 6 out of 10 from GameSpot. Criticism was directed at the ugly, muddy graphics, poor AI and lacking physics, with other drivers frequently bouncing off your rear wing during a race. It did however lay the framework for F1 2010. The handling model was widely praised, providing a thoroughly immersive experience you could live with the other issues. Almost every aspect was redesigned for F1 2010 using the newly upgraded Ego 1.5 engine. The game features an in-depth career mode lasting between 3 and 7 seasons, with the player starting out as a rookie driver with one of the 3 novice teams and during the course of their career playthrough attempt to develop the car and work their way up to a top team with the goal of eventually winning the World Drivers' Championship and the Constructors' Championship. The better you performed on track, the more upgrades you receive over your teammate, further increases your chances of outperforming them and cementing yourself as the number 1 driver in the team. Every season new contract offers are offered to you from the other teams based on your track performance and crucially how you performed against your teammate. Each new contract would have different objectives and would have to be met in order to be retained by the team, from scoring a smaller team's first points to winning the championship as McLaren or Ferrari. The AI for the career mode has vastly improved with the previous year's title. Drivers no longer stick rigidly to the racing line, they make mistakes and take damage as the race progresses. That being said, it was still far from perfect. They drive consistently slow on the first lap, regardless of difficulty, meaning it's possible to sail past the ball by the end of the first sector. On the lower difficulties, the AI braking zones are much longer than expected, which can cause accidents, and on the highest difficulty they have what seems like an unlimited supply of grip. They did improve this on the later games, and for all its other problems, F1 2015 had great AI by comparison. Smaller improvements such as the UI receiving a cleanup making it much more visually appealing and convenient to read, manually controlled pit stops where the player has to brake and manage the speed limit accordingly, as well as get away from the pit box themselves, all really increased the already fantastic sense of immersion. The weather system received an overhaul, Codemasters claiming at the time that it was the most complicated weather system ever seen in a racing game, dynamically changing from wet to dry and sometimes back again as the race progresses. As the rain subsides, a drying line starts to appear, yielding more grip. Visually, the weather benefited massively from the huge amounts of processing power that the Xbox 360 and PS3 had over the Wii. Plumes of rain now obscure vision when following another car, water splashes onto the camera and puddles visibly form on the track. The benefits of the additional power didn't stop there. F1 2010 is beautiful by the standards of the time, and is still fairly visually impressive today. Unfortunately, the console versions paid the price for their pretty environments. Both versions lock the frame rate at 30 frames per second and pretty frequently drop below that, in high fidelity areas such as Monaco when lots was on the screen, such as at the start of the race or when it was raining. It was never enough to render the game unplayable by any means, but it was occasionally noticeable. The PC version isn't without its issues in that department and had a fairly shaky launch, with some optimisation problems that still aren't fully gone today. All in all, F1 2010 was a solid restart to the franchise by Codemasters, and the foundations set by it paved the way for the next 7 years. Thank you for watching, and if you've liked the video, please consider giving it a like as every little helps, and subscribing to the channel to see more videos in the future. If there's a particular game you'd like to see covered, feel free to leave your suggestions in the comments below.